a secular book by Dr. Martin Seligman called Learned Optimism, he proved through a 25-year study that our words have impact. Do you know that the Word says the same thing? He didn't create anything new. The Bible really talks about that your words will have impact. So in his study, he was talking about that if I have an optimistic or pessimistic response to life, I can predict people's success. Surprise, that's what it says in James 3:10. Out of the same mouth come both blessing and cursing. People get what they say. And he said, no, that's not true. Said, yes, it is. It's verified through studies, but the Bible really set the principle up for us. So let's just talk about what is that principle. When individuals are optimistic, if negative things happen to you, what you do is you contain it. In other words, if it's woe is me, if I have a victim mindset, then I'm pessimistic. And what he was teaching individuals is that we can actually learn how to control our language. Well, that's what the Bible talks about in James 3:10, is that my mouth is actually creating my environment. So here's some examples. Let's say I have success in life, and so I'm a sales rep and I get a sale. If I'm optimistic, then what I do is not from an arrogant point of view, not from a self-centered point of view, not from a lack of humility point of view, but what I do is I own that success. You know, I worked hard, I was able to make the contact, and that individual, my customer, really enjoyed my interaction with me, so I owned my success. And then what optimistic people do is, you know what? The rest of my life is looking good too. You know, I can see that I have good friendships. I see that the other parts of my work, I'm very satisfied with that. Here's what pessimistic individuals do. He says, you know what? I don't know why that person bought from me. They actually discount their success. You know what? Even though I got this sale, the rest of my life is actually it's not very good. I don't have any good relationships. Nobody wants to be my friend. You know, I don't see a way out of this. You know what? The enemy is now deceiving you. That is what he wants you to do. And so pessimism is really this negative side that the enemy wants to draw you in. That's not what God's word says. You know, if you go through the rest of James 3, and I encourage you to do it, that really is, there's an accountability that our words have impact as part of that process. If you go into Matthew 12, 33 to 37, you know, we talk about the tree, we talk about the boat, the ship, where a simple rudder will change the direction of a ship. You know, our words, our tongue is the same thing. And so we're accountable from that about what we say and how we say it. So interesting, you know, a lot of times we discount the fact that we joke about, well, I'm dying to go, or that blew my mind, or that cost me an arm and a leg, or break a leg, or that was unbelievable. You know, these are little nuances that drain our energy. There's all kinds of work that Carolyn Leaf, a Christian neuroscientist, that talks about what we call epigenetics, meaning our mind changes based on our words. And so we are either creating strength in our body, in our soul, and our mind through our words, or we are actually creating illness. And interesting, negative words actually reduce our immunity, reduce our strength. So my encouragement for you today is now to think about, okay, would people say that I'm optimistic, or would they say I'm pessimistic? Do you respond with a positive response, or are you responding with a negative response? And if you're not, then get into the Word. Hold yourself accountable. Maybe even get a partner where you say, you know, what are you really saying, kid? So that you are aware of what your language is saying and doing. Let's be optimistic.